Hey techies, it's time to make lanyards, and this is really exciting because this is the one thing that we have that's an outwardly item to let everybody know that you belong in a club. And these are really important to us because these are your identifications when you are out doing a project for Tech Club or you're out on an assignment for Tech Club. You'll need these when we go on our field trips. This is really important to us, so it's something that you want to do a really good job on and that you'll need to have with you in the event that you get pulled for an assignment. Then it works as kind of like your hall pass on benefit of Tech Club. So like for example, if you're carrying around Ms. Shawna's phone, you're not going to be considered you're not going to be in trouble because they understand that you're doing an assignment for Tech Club. So let's go ahead and get started. So really quick, I want to go over the mouse and its properties again for not only our new friends that have joined since the deadline, but just so that everybody is understanding the functions of a mouse. So I want everybody to take a good look at your mouse. Your mouse has two buttons. It has a button on the right and a button on the left, and it's got a wheel in the middle. Go ahead, take a look at it. I'll wait. When you have your fingers laying on top of it, you'll notice that your middle finger is on the right button and your index finger is on the left button. In fact, when you go to mashing with your middle finger, the menu button, you end up with a menu that pops up. So you have a menu that pops up every time in any place that you put that you press that right button on your mouse. But your right button, if you just press it alone, it doesn't really do anything. It's actually an execute button. It's telling your computer, yes, do this. So if we combine the two together, the menu and the execute button, there are some silly things that you can do. For example, if you click the right button and a menu pops up, and I can choose to look at the view and make my icons on my computer really small. So some of you have actually sat down at computers and you've got these ginormous size icons. It's probably because somebody has been playing around with the desktop menu. And these are really tiny icons right here. We're going to go ahead and make them big by pressing the right button again, the middle finger, the menu button, and choosing our medium icons again, and everything comes back to normal. So remember that the right button is your menu button, and that your left button is the execute button. It says, yes, do this. So let's go ahead and get our program started. So I usually try to keep Tech Club out in the middle like this, but sometimes we share our computers with other students and it gets put in a place that we may not can find it. Sometimes you have to really look for it. Sometimes you see it right away. If you don't see it right away, you can put this video on pause and give a good look. You're going to open this file. And we're going to open Photoshop. And while we're waiting on Photoshop to open, we're going to go ahead and open our drive. So when you open your drive, it should automatically come up on my drive. Now for you, you're going to go down here to share with me. Because I have shared this file with you, but I own the file, so I will stay in the my drive. You will click on share with me, and when you get to share with me, you're going to look for a blue file that says Tech Club Lesson Materials for Students, and when you actually put your mouse over it, the whole title will come up, Tech Club Lesson Materials for Students, and you will click there, and you're going to notice a few changes since last time you looked in this file, unless you're new to us as of today, then it's brand new and this is the way it looks. So this orange folder is for those people who are slow at turning in their Tech Club, their cat and Rubik's Cube meme. Now, if you weren't here for that, you're not responsible for that, so you don't have to worry about it. What we're going to be looking at today is what's going to be turned into this purple folder. But I want you to notice that it says lanyard turn in. So there's nothing going to be in this folder. So when you click on this folder, there's nothing there. That's because this is where I want you to put your lanyards when you finish them. So going back to the Tech Club lesson materials for students, you see 4 things that you're going to download. If you hold the control button, you can click on all 4 of these things, and with your menu button on your mouse, and you'll click download. Sometimes this takes a while, sometimes it's very quick, and it really just depends on the internet. And it looks like there it is. So once you get this green check, you're going to see that there is a stack of books that starts to appear on this download bar. When it finishes, the little arrow right here, you can click on the arrow and choose to open in folder. And there's the little stack of book. It shows up in blue. We can send this to the task bar. This bar right here is the minimize bar. And this bar down here with all your programs that are open is called the task bar. So we are going to hit this minimize button, and you'll actually see it go down to the task bar. And we're going to drag and drop this stack of books onto our desktop just like this. In other words, you're going to click on it, hold the click, don't finish the click, pull it all the way down, and then drop it. Alright, so there it is. There's your little box of books, stack of books. Now, here is your Photoshop element. Remember, we're never going to click on organize. We're never going to click on video editor. We have a better program for that. We will only use photo editor for this program. Go ahead and click on it. And while it's opening, we can go back to this stack of books right here. Or anyways, we definitely need to open up that stack of books. So let's go ahead and minimize our Photoshop down to the task bar, and let's look at this stack of books that we just put on our desktop. With your menu button, click on the stack of books and choose to extract files here. You can extract files here, or if that option is not available, you can extract files and it will do the same. And there's our 4 lovely little tools that we're going to need. Alright, so let's open up our Photoshop, which is down at the task bar, and we're going to go to File, and we're going to open from the desktop. Now, if you open up this window that pops up, and it's down at Pictures, or it's down at Downloads, or it's even on Documents, that's okay. Just click on Desktop. So find the desktop, and you'll see some things that you just downloaded. Hold the control button down and click on these 4 items that you just downloaded. And there's the 4 items. They're the Tech Deer number 2, the Doe Run logo number 2, the DDN logo no number, and the Tech Club ID template portrait. And we're going to say open. All of these items are going to come down here at the bottom. Now, if it is going to give you this warning about The font, it's okay. It's because when I created your template, I used a font that the school does not recognize. It does not matter. The font that you're missing looks exactly like the font that they're going to give you anyway, so it doesn't really matter. Oh, isn't he lovely? Look at his eyes. They're like electrifying, right? That's so cool. So there's some changes to the ID that you had last year, if you were a tech club last year, to what we're having this year. You'll notice it's a little taller. And that is because of where the hole for your lanyard is going to be. So you're going to actually have the hole on the long side. So your tech club lanyard is going to be long. But the items are still here. But you'll notice that these are the items that we were having from last year. Now when you click on individual things, I want you to notice what lights up on over here with your layers. So if I click on the DDN layer highlights. If I click on your name here, the your name here layer highlights. So let's do some rearranging because this is all jumbled up. So we didn't change schools. You're still in Durham Elementary. So we're going to take Durham Elementary and we're going to move it kind of centered at the top. Now we don't want to be too far to the top because we don't want the hole for our lanyard to come and punch holes through our school, okay? We're going to take our name and we're going to bring it kind of not exactly to the bottom, cancel. Not exactly to the bottom, but kind of off to the side. We can still rearrange it as we adjust things. This DNN logo is going to sit right next to your name down here at the bottom. All right. The box and the image name. If you want to move them together, you can simply click on layer 7, hold the shift key down, and click on your image here, and then you can move them at the same time if you want to, or you can move them one at a time. The Tech Club orb, when you click on it, and it's going to go right here next to your image, and then the Durham logo is going to be centered here at the top. Okay, so this is what it's going to look like. I will wait just a few seconds and let you adjust your lanyard to look similar to this. Remember, we don't want to be all the way at the top because the hole for your lanyard is going to be up here at the top. Alright, so let's get started. We're not changing the Durham Elementary because we didn't change schools, but we are going to change this logo. This actually was not the logo that I wanted to use. This was actually just created for the invitation to join Tech Club, but it looked so cool that I put it on our last year's lanyard. We're going to get rid of it. You can take this layer and hold your execute button down. Keep holding the click and drag it right up here to the trash can and drop it in the trash can. And it disappears. Instead, we're going to use this original one and we're going to drop it right there in the center. All right. It's a little big, but we're going to line it up so that hugs that Durham Elementary right there in the center, and it is a little big, so we're going to grab these corners right here and we're going to make it smaller. Be careful though, we don't want it so small that you can't see it, just a little smaller. And then adjust that so that it is in the center of Durham Elementary. And when you get it to the size that you like, I want you to click the check mark. Alright, so that one's done. This blue orb was last year's little tool. We're going to get rid of it by dragging, holding it all the way to the trash can and throwing it in the trash can as well by releasing the click. And I know some of you are going, oh no, I've lost all my pictures down here, but you can click on this photo bin and up come all of our pictures. In its place, we're going to take our blue orbed-eyed deer and we're going to drop it right here in where it used to go, where the orb used to be. Now it's a little big too, that's okay. We're going to adjust his size as well. We're going to grab this corner just like we did for our circle and our Darwin logo, and we're going to just shrink him up. Not so much. We want him to fill in that space right there. And we're going to also move him so that he's adjusted with the DDN or the DNN. And we're going to click the check mark here too. All right. So DNN, I'll give you about a second to tell me what's wrong with that. It's not right. So we're going to click on it. It's going to show up in our layers, and we're going to click, hold that click down, bring it up, and drop it in that trash can. Goodbye. So long. Farewell. Go back to our photo bin. Let's get the correct one and drop it right there onto our page. And we're going to move it to where it needs to be. It's a little small, so we're going to grab the sizes or grab the corner and we're going to adjust its size just a little bit until we're a little on the happy side. Alright, and then we're going to adjust that into the center just underneath our deer. Maybe bring it up a little bit close to the deer. There we go. Alright, and click that. Alright, so when it comes to your name, you are a proper noun. If it ever asks you for the for the font, just say, okay, I know it's wrong, but we're going to change it anyway. So you are a proper noun. You need capital letters in your name. Alright? Put spaces between your first name and your last name. We only want our first name and our last name. Yes, put your last name too. And watch very carefully for the spelling of your name. Sometimes we mistype. It's easy to have typos. So once you type your name, go back and look and make sure, do I have a capital letter for my name? Is my name spelled correctly? Do I have a space between my first name and my last name? All right. Once you're happy with it, click the check mark. Let's look at our image. Well, we don't actually want it to say your image here on our lanyard. So we're just going to take that and we're going to throw it away. We didn't need that. That was basically instructions for this black square that's left. So we don't even need the black square. Miss Shawna, what in the world do we need a black square for then? That's because it's a representation. It's representing a space for your picture. Bring your Photoshop to the taskbar by using this minimize button and bring up your browser again and go to your mail. You should have a mail from me that has your picture. If you don't, please come see me. Let's go ahead and download that. You can click right there onto the picture. Two things should come up. You can save it to your drive if you like, and I do recommend that people do that. And then you can download it here with this button right here. All right. So same thing. We're going to look at this little arrow, and we're going to show it in the folder, and bring our browser to the taskbar, And we're going to drag and drop our photo onto our desktop, just like this. So here it is. And now we're going to open up our Photoshop again down here from the taskbar. And we're going to choose to File, Open, and from the desktop, our picture. So click on your picture, aren't you so cute, and open it. Alright, go to our photo bin and click on your template so that your template is what's showing, because we're moving the picture onto the template. Click, drag, and hold that click and drop it right there on top of your template. And you're going to see that it's a little small. We're going to pull that picture on top of the black square, but if you just put it there, you're not going to see it because the black square is the top layer. We're going to have to drag our picture to the top by clicking, hold that click, pull it to the top, and when you see the dark line over that layer appear, you know you've got it on top. And you can release your click, and all of a sudden your picture's on top. So now you can take that picture, you can put it on top of this black square, and now we can adjust the size. Alright, so now that we have it sitting on top of our black square, we're going to grab this edge and we're going to pull it until it's the same size as our black square, just like this, all the way. And it's going to look a little blurry at first until you click the check mark button. Now once you mash the check mark button, it clears up. Now we can throw away this square by clicking, dragging, and dropping. Alright. Now we are finished with our lanyard. Now we can make this picture a little bigger so that it fits the deer. Let's go ahead and match it up to the ear. There we go. We can make it as big as the ear right there. Very good. I tell you what. No, I like it. Just like that. So the bottom matches up with our DDN box and the top matches up with this deer ear. And I'm going to click OK. And boys and girls, your lanyard is complete. Alright, so you have about 3 weeks to do this. Alright, 3 weeks seems like it's a lot of time, but really it's only 6 sessions. If you're finding that you're really struggling, you have 2 rules. Rule number 1 is to explore. Click around. See what you do if you pull this square, or you click that circle, or you hit that button. Find out what it does. If you make a mistake, if you don't like it, you can click the undo button that you can find right here at the bottom. Rule number 2 is research. Search again. Go back and watch this video again. You don't have to watch the whole video. If you only need to watch the ending part, if you only need to watch the middle part, or you only need to figure out how to throw things in the trash can, you don't have to watch the whole video. Just find where it is that you are making your mistakes at. Researching also includes interviewing other students who may know what to do. Ask a friend. If you have explored your program and you have researched your problem and you still don't understand, then raise your hand. But if all else fails, I'm right here. Now, you're not officially done yet. I want you to click on this bottom layer. I want you to hold the Shift key down. I want you to click on the top layer And we've got to squish them all together by Control E. And when you press Control E, they all come together. Now to save, upload, and click to turn in. So we're going to go to File. We're going to go to Save As. Now listen very carefully, because some of you really miss this part. You're going to take out the words template portrait, and you're going to type in your name. This is because, and you can see up here, not all of the programs show me what I need to see. This is going to help me keep the file with the person. You need to change the file type. Some of you aren't doing this, and I'm having to go back and do it for you. Click on this and change it to a PNG. When you change it to a PNG, it preserves the see-through effect so that you can see your card. Okay? Then save it. So make sure your name is on it. Make sure it's a PNG and click Save. Click OK. Never close down Photoshop until you have gotten everything turned in. Instead, I'm going to minimize to the taskbar, and I'm going to pull up my drive. Okay, going back to Tech Club news material, lesson materials. Again, I'm going to use this middle button to reduce the size just a little bit. Just makes this smaller. That's all it does, is just makes it smaller. It makes it so that I can work on two things at one time. So this center one right here, before the X. So here's the X, here's the minimize, and then there's one in the middle, and it just kind of makes it smaller. All right, so I have my Photoshop lesson turn in for the cat in the Rubik's Cube. So if you still haven't turned that in and you were here for that time, you need to get that turned in. If you're new to us, don't worry about it. You don't need that. Here is your lanyard turn in. This is where I want you to drop your stuff. All right, so you're going to grab your lanyard that you just finished making. Click, hold it, drag it right on top of this folder. Did you notice how the folder turned blue? As in, if I put it over here, this will turn blue. If I drop it right here, this whole thing will turn blue. But I want to turn it right here onto this folder, and when I turn it into this folder, the folder turns blue, and I can release my click from here. Lift up off that button, and I've dropped it right in there. It's going to show me that it is downloading. The check mark is there. I can go into the folder and I can check and make sure that it's there. There it is. I can put my mouse over it and I can see it's got my name on it. But I'm not done. I'm going to go to my waffle. I'm going to go to my classroom. I'm going to click on Tech Club. I'm going to go to my classwork. I'm going to go to my lanyards, which I need to put in Photoshop. I'm going to go to my lanyards, and I'm going to mark it as done. Now, I'm the teacher in the classroom, so I don't have the mark as done, but you will, and it will tell me who's turned it in and who hasn't. Who are we still waiting on? All right, so make sure you turn it in. Once you've clicked that turn it in, you see that number change from a 0 to a 1, or if others have turned it in, that it's added one more. You can even click and see if it says turned in. Then you are done. So What can you do now that you're done? You can do Code Monkey. You can play on Photoshop. Or you can start your journal in PowerPoint. If you don't know PowerPoint, don't worry, it's next. All right? Good luck.